In Texas, the complicated task of regulating off-site billboards on commercially zoned property along our highways originates from the Lady Bird Johnson 1965 Highway Beautification Act. Because of a Supreme Court ruling in 2015 regarding billboards, TxDOT wanted to have a better understanding of billboard regulation practices. This broad-ranging project, conducted by the Center for Transportation Research at the University of Texas, will have states from across the country interested in the findings.
So when we worked with CTR, the direction for them was to research what other state laws and rules are, but also do case studies to find out what litigation's been successful on specific topics that are a problem for the state. You know, there's certain areas in our regulations that are probably weak, and we needed to have better language to do our job. And so their task was to go find out what language in other states has been successful when they're litigating for enforcement.
Regulating billboards is very complicated. The laws are complicated. And Wendy, who has built this program, wants to have the best program in the country. She, in fact, has a national reputation. She won't tell you that, but she does. And part of this is to generate best practices for Texas.
Given the scarcity of resources and the scarcity of funding and the enormity of the job and the penalty of losing 10% of your federal highway funding, which is about $361 million for Texas, the stakes are huge, and you need to know if you're violating the federal law and if your state law is valid under the U.S. Constitution.
The goal was to see really had the changes that occurred in Texas in their statutes, were they still fulfilling the spirit and the letter of the federal law? Was that going to pass constitutional muster on a whole range of areas?
Because we have a new way of thinking about and regulating signs, we had to both implement the new way and do it in a way that was consistent with the old way we did it so that we weren't changing everything. And that then put every term we'd used in a new light because we had a new system undergirding it. And so we needed to know different ways of doing it because we were sort of redefining things as we went along.
There is probably some work that needs to be done at the federal level, and then there is still work to be done in the different states. And if we can learn from one another, we can maybe make things better and also put certainty into the system.
I think other states are going to look at our work and see the magnitude of some of the issues that they're dealing with. And also we tried to look at best practices. So we found some creative problem solving in other states for how to reduce the proliferation of billboards and how to regulate them.
This is the first time a project like this has ever been done in the U.S. in this program since 1965. So the information that they provided us is very valuable to our state and I imagine to other states as well. Texas, I guess because we're so large, has a tendency to run into problems with the billboards before other states do. So when we find a solution that works, other states will end up copying what we do. So this has moved our program probably and our other programs nationally to the best position they could ever be in 40 plus years.
For more information and to find the publications for this project, please visit the TxDOT Research Library at the link shown below.